ask your opinion on this, Tori. What is your opinion on these cohort type courses where, people are bringing people in for like a class for a certain amount of weeks?
Yeah.
And then after that, they're having to like relaunch again and then bring another group in. And they're just doing the trainings live. And then once that's over, they're having to relaunch again versus doing evergreen. Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think it's fine. I think depending on what you're teaching, sometimes having a live training in a cohort setting may make the most sense. And if it's an intimate group of people, it's not too massive of a group. Gotcha. Where it becomes more of a communal learning experience where they're not just learning from you as the trainer, but they're also learning from the other students who are also going through this learning experience with them. And it becomes more of a collaborative learning experience. I think those are great, if it makes sense based on based on what it is that you're teaching or educating them on. I think those programs are really great when done in collaboration with other entities, so if you're working with a sponsor or a partner or maybe a corporate entity and you're doing these trainings for their constituents or for their employees or their customers, so it just depends on the nuances involved with some of those cohorts, because a lot of times there is a lot of other parties involved in the training. They may be licensing their educational training to these groups. But that is certainly another option. There's a lot of different ways that people can approach this that makes sense for their business.
Gotcha.
The key thing is making sure that you're leveraging each opportunity to move things forward to the next. So as long as there's a strategy again in place on how you leverage everything from your evergreen programs to your cohorts, so even, virtual conferences, we even work with clients on virtual conferences and being able to curate thought leadership from a multitude of people in your circle. It doesn't have to just be you doing all the training and all the education. You can do a virtual conference or a summit and bring in thought leaders from all different facets to empower your audience and then leverage the audience reach that these other entities have access to.
Absolutely.
And then drive them into your system. So there's a lot of different ways people can approach this. The key thing is before you do anything is just to have that strategy already kind of laid out.
Right.